What are the worst curses in the Binding of Isaac? Welcome to the video. This is yet another Later Manor and Turtier list. Say hi, Turt.
My name's Turt, and I wish I could dance as well as Mana.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, yeah, so we're doing one of the worst curses. This is going to be a very short video in comparison to most of our other videos.
Yeah, don't worry though, we will still have a 30-minute discussion, I'm sure.
Don't worry. Well, I'm sure we'll still argue. I'm sure we'll still find something to argue about. But yeah, again, thank you so much for the support on these list videos. We're going to get right into it. Make sure to click subscribe, like the video, all that YouTuber crap, so that way you could help us out and get our videos shown to more people. Anyway, this is Curse of the Darkness, right? Hello?
My mic just didn't pick me up twice. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yes, it is Curse of Darkness.
Okay, so, I mean, I definitely think this is an whatever, right?
I actually think it was gonna be cringe. Oh my god, already disagreeing. Inside. No, sorry.
How is it not whatever? What?
Okay, this is a very weird curse. Because this curse, it kind of depends on how dark your monitor is. But then you can easily counteract it by going into the game settings and raising your gamma, which you have to do if your monitor is dark. So it feels like cheating, but it's really not. Because if you don't do that, then it's like the worst thing ever. Because before I did that, I increased my gamma. I don't remember how much. Actually, I can check out the game next to me.
I would argue this is the least impactful curse.
I changed my gamma to 120. At 100, my monitor was dark enough that this curse was like completely destroying me. Although to be fair, that was kind of earlier in Repentance when it was darker as well.
The moment
and I never changed my gamma after that.
I mean, the moment I see darkness, it's like I'm just glad that it wasn't another curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird curse because it.
I see what you mean.
If you count the gamma thing as like not being a cheat.
I don't think it's a cheat. I think like yes, you should have your computer bright enough to where you could actually see it. So to where you can see any game, not just on darkness.
But like theoretically though, like I didn't have to stop at 120. I could have went up to 150, and now it's literally a non-curse.
Right.
You can see everything.
I think even with even with the impaired vision, like it's not like it's still not nearly as bad as like something like retrovision, right? Like it's really not that big of a deal.
No, I think if you have like low enough brightness and you literally can't see the enemies in the darkness at all, then it's way worse than retrovision. I don't think
really. I've never had a problem with darkness, like ever. Maybe my computer's just lighter. I don't know. I think I don't know. I'd rather just keep it in here. Maybe we can come back to it. Is that fine?
Maybe. I do think that it's just a weird curse because it really depends on what the game looks like for you. It literally depends on that. Because if your computer's bright enough, then it does not make a difference. And then if it's dark enough, then it's actually like quite detrimental. I feel.
Is this the map one? What is this?
That's Curse of Lost. Yeah, Curse of Lost.
So you can't see. Can't
no
see
mapping
map.
and. Yeah, no mapping, and one thing that I actually didn't know until the boss rush video, someone mentioned it, which is cool. It increases your total room count on the floor by 4. So you get 4 extra rooms.
And?
I think... What? I thought you were going to say something. I was done.
I mean, what else is there to say? Mapping's pretty important in this game. I don't think it's like completely terrible. Like you could deal with it. I think it's cringe personally. Like,
see, I actually think
definitely
this
hurts
is a whatever.
You. Like,
I don't care about the map. Like,
I do a lot. I think.
Well, okay, I do care about the map, but it doesn't really matter. I guess it matters if you, I guess if you have the mind, it's really annoying. Like if you have like good mapping items like compass or mind, then it's annoying that you basically.
But even just like little things, like even without those mapping items, like it's a lot more time consuming to like find secret rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, not being able to see the map layout, like it hurts your ability to find stuff like that. I mean,
you can find them. Like
yeah, you still can. Yeah, but like
I've never drawn a map, but I still like I will still look for the secret rooms sometimes. Sometimes I don't bother.
To me, this hurts the run enough to be considered like worse than an whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you're if you
I feel like this
are
one, most of the time it comes up, and I feel like it doesn't really make much of a difference to me.
well, it does depending on the run, because if you're in boss rush, then this is the worst thing ever. This is actually the worst, maybe maze. Like this and maze are the worst curses if you're doing boss rush or hush. Like they just are. Because I mean, if you can't see your map, then
Oh, but do they really? Do they
Yes.
really matter?
yes, because you get lost. Like you're not going to be able to find your boss as fast unless you get really
This
lucky.
might just be a thing where I have pretty good memory and I don't get lost when I have this curse. Like I know what rooms I've been in.
Well, yeah, but you
Usually,
can't
I
you can't assume everybody's going to be perfect like that.
Yeah.
People will forget their way. That's just it is how it is.
I do sometimes on more complicated maps, but most of the time I know which ways I've been.
I
don't know.
think it's
I
quite
never
a
really
lot.
had
I think it's a lot worse than Darkness is the thing. Like a lot worse.
I guess if you think that, then I don't mind that. Like I actually think Darkness is worse just because I have.
That's
I have had bad
crazy.
experiences with it.
Darkness is like
No,
nothing.
but at the same time, I agree. On my current gamma level, Darkness is completely irrelevant, and my gamma's not even that high. Like it's reasonable, I think. For like, I try to set it.
I'm actually shocked. I'm actually shocked that you even like brought up the point that like darkness can be a hindrance. Like
At 100 gamma on my computer, I literally could not see things, and Curse of Darkness was like almost a floor killer.
that's
Like it was that bad.
I just can't even believe it. Let us know in the comments if you think darkness should be in cringe or not.
To be fair, I do think that was earlier on in Rep where it was darker than it is now, and I'd never changed my gamma level, so it might
That might
not
be the
be
case.
that bad anymore. But
it
I
might
did
have
have that
got
issue. Once.
yeah, it might have got nerfed. It's possible.
No,
I'm
it
curious.
definitely got nerfed. But I'm not sure like how big the nerf was.
I
Is
see.
basically what I'm saying.
Okay. Again, we could always. I mean, we're gonna be able to talk a lot more about these whenever they're all on the list, so that we can compare them all. But what's this one?
I actually do want to go back to Curse of Lost just for a second, just because the 4 extra room things is actually an advantage. I did just do a quick test right now, and we got 2 depths 2 map layouts, and the Curse of Lost one has an extra curse room on it because it's getting 4 extra rooms, and one of them decided to be a curse room.
Getting
So
extra
you are
rooms.
potentially actually getting a better floor because of Curse of the Lost.
Yes.
So it is true that on boss rush, if you forget which way you've went, that it can actually kind of cost you boss rush. That is very true.
I think it almost always
But-
makes you take longer. Is the thing. Like I can't think of
It
a
does
single
make you-
time
Yeah.
where you're going the
If you're
same
not going
amount
for
of
a
time.
rush mark, if you're not going for a rush mark though, I think arguably this is a blessing. Like, it's annoying, but it's giving you a better floor.
Yeah, but
And that's-
like you could also argue that people might miss their secret rooms more. Like you can't expect perfection out of everybody. Like
Yeah,
you,
but like
you might
the
waste
fact
more
that I can
bombs.
even say that in some scenarios it's a blessing, doesn't that mean it has to be a whatever? Like, in some
maybe
scenarios, it's good.
I'll agree with you that it might be, but it's still way above this, no doubt. Even with that, like I don't think it's even comparable to darkness at all because darkness is literally a non-curse. Like if we had a non-curse tier, I would put darkness in it. That's the only curse I would think is just does not affect the run at all.
Yeah, I guess I would just really had different experience in the Curse of Darkness. I have had it be really bad once. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Still, I will
and
say,
I've played since
recently,
Rebirth.
like-
I've played since Rebirth is the thing. Like, it has never been a problem for me.
Oh no, old Curse of Darkness was nothing. It was like early Repentance Curse of Darkness was pretty bad.
Mhm.
Now I think it still has potential to be bad depending on your gamma.
I see. Okay. I might move it back up to bottom of cringe, but that's fine. We could leave it here for now.
Yeah.
By the way, I
yeah,
guess
so
we,
this
I
is
guess
Curse
we,
of the Maze.
wait, hold on. I guess we didn't mention it, but this is like based on one of the worst curses. So the top tier is the worst, and this is like
Yeah.
the least
the
good, yeah.
ones that's like most impactful or detrimental to your run is
Yeah.
the top.
yeah.
Um,
So what's this?
Curse of the Maze. Okay, this curse has always just been annoying. It's actually not been bad. In Afterearth Plus, it was really, really annoying. In Repentance, they nerfed it a lot, and now it's like mildly annoying. It's easily the bottom. I don't see anything ever going below it.
I would. No, I think curse is a lot.
No,
less
I still
impactful.
think Curse of Darkness can.
No, I think this can hurt you. If you have your gamma high enough, it's a non-curse. The darkness. This, on a rush mark specifically, can hurt you a lot. Granted.
Really?
Yes! Are you kidding me? You get teleported between rooms all over the place. If you get teleported from into a room that you didn't even need to go into. You get teleported into a room with enemies that you didn't even need to fight, and then you have to fight through multiple rooms.
I've had it teleport me forward in the floor and help me make.
Yes, and that's why it's still an whatever. Like there are like it can, but at the end of the day, it definitely can negatively impact your run. Whereas this, I mean, hell, even outside of rush marks, like a lot of times maybe you don't want to fight. Like let's say you have mapping effects and you're trying, or you have items that can help you get through floors really quickly. Like, you know, let's say you just want to rush straight to the boss, especially in the case in like Womb, right? Well, getting teleported into more rooms with enemies that you didn't want to fight, like that's detrimental at the end of the day. Granted, it's still less detrimental than a lot of the other curses, but I'm just saying it's more detrimental than this, which literally does nothing.
I don't know. I simultaneously really see your point with Curse of Darkness, and then I also I do remember like it can be bad, and the gamma thing feels like a weird workaround to it.
I don't know. I guess maybe my computer brightness is just like high enough to the point where maybe I've always had the cheat around method. I don't freaking know. I never thought about it. It's not like I changed my computer settings specifically to help me with that. It's never been an issue to me. I just never worried about it.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, no, you know what? No, I'm gonna double down on this because I've played on Switch. I've played on PS Vita. I've never had an issue with this, even on console. So it's not even just a gamma thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it because at my current gamma level, it's.
I think because I'm talking about like on console, right? Like on console, you can't even change the gamma level, and it's still like a non-issue.
No, you can't. There's in the game options. That's where I changed the gamma.
I don't think you can in game. I don't think you can in console.
You 100% can.
I've never done it. Either way, I'm talking about the base settings, so it's still like, you know, it's.
I put the gamma level on my Switch the same as my computer, just for consistency, so the game looks the same.
Okay. But yeah, no, I think I actually like my points about this. Granted, this is why I kind of wanted to put this above here, because I think this is still quite a bit more detrimental than this.
I guess I do see that.
So I mean, again, we can move it down again, but I had thought that the idea was that we're gonna have two in each. I can kind of see your point for
Curse of Darkness being below. It feels wrong to me. That I do think it should be above Curse of the Maze. I don't know. When Curse of Darkness hurts, if you've not changed your gamma and it's like a bit low, when it hurts, it really hurts. Otherwise, it's a non-curse. Curse of Maze, I feel like even it just never matters. It never matters.
I just think that like you're not thinking about the time, like the possibilities of it ruining a run. Like it definitely can. Whereas Darkness, like assuming you're on default settings, will never hurt you really. Again, tell me in the comments if I'm like biased on this one. Am I biased like for thinking that Darkness does literally nothing? Like let me know in the comments. Like, have you had runs that like you've lost because of Darkness? That's my question.
Maze does literally nothing.
That's why they're both in the same tier. But Maze, I can see just logically, because this does nothing in my eyes. Logically, yes, this can hinder your run, whereas this just never does.
I guess. Yeah, I do want to point out something. So in Aftermath Plus, this would teleport you to any room all the time, and it could actually take you to special rooms, like I'm assuming curse rooms and definitely shops and stuff. You can actually save keys by teleporting into your shop or item room.
I thought that was cap, and we were DMing about this yesterday.
In Repentance, that's definitely been changed. Yeah, definitely in Repentance,
because I've never teleported into a special room, and I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
So you can't get teleported into curse room. You can't get teleported into your item rooms either. So you can't save keys. That's fine. It only takes you to rooms you haven't cleared yet, which means the actual like going into the wrong room thing is very minor. It can teleport you to boss room though. I know that 100% sure. Okay. I think that's the only one though. But otherwise, the only other effect it really has is like the actual floor, like the actual rooms on the floor, even when you've already cleared them, because I don't just swap positions, which is just annoying. That's all it is. It is just annoying. It's just dumb. It's just annoying. It's basically nothing though. I think we can move on.
Okay. What's this?
Curse of the Blind. So no item pedestals, or you can't see the item pedestal.
Right. Oh, that's cute. I just realized this symbol is literally the pedestal, isn't it?
Yeah, it literally is.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. I never noticed that. I definitely think this is terrible, right?
Yeah. So the problem with this one, Shops, you don't know what you're buying, so you either have to choose to pass the items or you're potentially wasting money. Devil deals, you also don't know what you're buying.
Oh my
so
god,
same
devil deals
problem.
are so bad. Wow, yeah.
Angel deals. If it's one item, it's fine. But if you get a choice, well, you can't make a good choice because you don't know.
Yeah.
But another big one, rerolls, don't matter.
Rerolls.
You just don't get rerolls.
Unless you pick up a reusable item and you can put it back.
Active, yeah. If you pick up an active.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just think about like on the runes list and stuff, like Perthrow ranked high, and the cards list, like the reverse judgment machine, like all these things they give you rerolls ranked high. And Curse of the Blind means you don't get to use them that floor.
Now, granted, that doesn't mean that they're...
You can't really.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that Perthrow is useless on those floors. Like, there are definitely many cases where you could still use it even on a floor with this. But, yes, it definitely still hinders it, no doubt. Because you can't see what you re-rolled into. For all you know, it could be a hindering item, right?
Well, like... Yeah, well, no, but, like, you can't even... If it's a passive item, you can't re-roll it at all, because... You're not going to re-roll a blind item, like, that's useless. So you're just going to take it.
You'd rather
if it's
save
a bad
it,
passive,
exactly.
Then you just took a bad passive. Like, it's Brother Bobby. It's like, okay, well, I could have re-rolled that, but I didn't know it was Brother Bobby. So now I have Brother Bobby.
Now, I want to... Yeah, so this is definitely terrible. Like, I mean, does this even need, like, much explaining to see that it's at least, like, either second worst or worst curse in the game? Because the moment you see one of those question mark items, like... You know, you're just going, oh, you know what I mean? Like, in the run, like...
What do you feel about the curse, like, design-wise? A lot of people don't like this curse, and I don't really see it.
The thing is, I think from a design perspective, it does spice up the game quite a bit. So I actually kind of agree with it being in the game. That might be a hot take, but... Like, yes, it is definitely a hindrance, but I would argue there should be more curses like this that actually hurt the player more.
I really like this curse.
Yeah.
Like,
because you have to play around it too. Like, you can play around it.
A lot of people really don't like it, and like, no hate toward these people, I guess. I've just never really like kind of understood the point. Like, there's like the mods that like make it so it's a silhouette instead. I think that completely defeats the purpose.
It does complete the
entirely.
What? Wait. What? You're basically cheating if you use a mod like that.
Yeah. No, I have a friend that says like, oh, but the library books, you can't tell which book it is. I'm like, okay, who cares?
Can't you just pick it up and put it back down anyway? Wait, that one's stupid.
Yes.
For a library. Wait, that's dumb. Yeah, no, I think design-wise, it's a good curse.
I've had an idea, because some people just don't like that it's like full random. The only idea I've had that I think would still stay in the spirit of the curse, but might be a little bit more fun, was if you got like a bunch of colors, like basic colors, not the exact shade, just basic colors, and the question mark is the color of the item.
Oh,
interesting. Or like
the
majority color of that item. So you might walk in your angel room, it's a red question mark. That could be Sacred Heart, or it could be the body, it could be any of the red items. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Either way, I actually think it's fine as is, personally.
Yeah, I actually think it's fine as it is, just no knowledge at all.
Yeah.
It is
It's bad. It's very bad. It's debatably the worst. It's debatably the worst curse in the game. But I would argue. I would argue for this one being the worst in the game. This is you can't see your health, right?
Yeah. I think this is cringe tier. I actually don't think it's close to Curse.
You are insane. You are insane.
I don't think it's close at all.
You are insane. All right. So let me make my case. So you can't see your health. So if you are on an early floor, this probably doesn't matter that much. But I would argue that this only really matters on the early game anyway. Because if you have made it far enough into a run anyway, then you're going to be, you're probably going to have the items to beat the run anyway. You could actually skip items a lot of the times. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten this on a hush floor, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't need the items anyway. Right? And there's a lot of items on the hush floor.
Thing. I never do that, but the smart thing is to just skip the items.
You can always skip the items, but if you can't see your health, you can never achieve God mode status when you see they're at 1 health left. All right? Tell me I'm wrong. I play better when I see that I have 1 heart left.
Okay, maybe there's just.
Okay.
This is almost a non-curse to me. I just count my health.
Okay. Well, okay.
I just count.
Okay. Outside of that was more so a meme. But even though I do kind of put some thing, I do put some merit into that because, unironically, being able to see your health is very, very important for battle. So, this is, I think, the only curse in the entire game that actually hurts your battle, like, with a boss. Because it is. It's the only boss, like, out of all these curses, these are all, like, mapping, or it'll hurt your ability to get an item.
Does, because if you pick up Cursed Eye by accident, then you're going to...
Sure, but that's a lot more niche. The moment you get this on a bad boss floor, it's over. Like, you're automatically hindered for the fight. Okay, no, I'm not going to say it's over. None of these curses, I should mention, are that impactful that you're going to lose an entire run, and we could both agree on that. But I think if there's one that can actually kill your run, it's this, and this has killed my run many times. Let's say you have a Sun card. You don't know how much health you have. You're not 100% sure if you're at...
You just count the health.
No, you can't. You can't assume everybody's perfect, all right? When you're in the middle of a boss fight, you might not, you know, have the brain space to be able to count all your health.
Maybe I'm just built different then. It's easy. It's not hard.
Bro, it is hard, okay? If you're in the middle of a fight and you're focused and you have a lot of health, let's say you have a lot of health, all right? Counting all that health is rough, okay?
Okay, if you have a lot of health, you're probably not going to lose anyway.
That's not true. It depends on the run. You could definitely lose all your health, depending on some bosses, and if your run's not good enough. Sometimes you need to health tank. Okay, but there's a lot of battle items that you can't make use of correctly, like Sun or full health. Let's see.
Approximate. Like, even if you
even in a min-max scenario, right? Even in a run, like, I can't tell you how many times, like, I forget how much health I have from the last floor. I go to the next floor. I don't know how much health I have. So
that's a skill issue on your part.
No, you're too okay. This is one of the criteria differences for me and Terry. I like to take into account anybody, right? Any player. It should not just be the highest tech or the smartest player out there. All right, no new player is going to remember exactly how much health they have. They just won't, and they're going to take more damage. So it's going to be a lot more, you know, it's a lot harder to tell how much health you have, right? And not being able to tell how much health you have is very detrimental, because then you cannot abuse blood donor machines. You can't abuse demon beggars as much. Granted, I still do, and there's ways you can work around it, as there is most of these curses, right?
I play Sakrooms with this quite a lot.
I do too. No, I do too. But you have to work around it. And, like, that is a massive hindrance, right? If you don't have any more hearts and you want to give, like, the last bit of your health to Dark Bum, and you, like, there's no hearts for you to guarantee how much health you have, assuming you haven't been counting the entire floor, then you just don't know. And a lot of times you'd have to give up. You can't do it. Without this curse, you could always go to half a heart on a Dark Bum. Or not, I meant Demon Beggar, you know what I mean? Or a Blood Donor Machine, trying to get blood back. But you cannot do it with this if you don't know your health.
Okay. You don't need to do half a heart. Like, you can play a little bit safer, which I would actually recommend, even if you are counting, just be a little bit safe. Because I have had times, like, I will be honest, I have had times where I counted wrong. I had a time where I picked up Blood Bag, and I thought it healed me for more than it did. So I was one heart different and then I died on a sacrifice.
I think that
happened before.
That statement alone, no, but that statement alone is why I think this is the top. The fact that you lost a run in general, and I've lost runs to this too. The fact that you can lose a run to this is insane.
You can lose a run to Curse the Blind as well.
No, not really. Not really, because you could always avoid the item. You cannot avoid the not knowing the health. You could always not pick up an item on that floor. But not having the health knowledge is so relevant for both bosses and min-maxing.
Picking up items. If you're not picking up items to get around Curse the Blind, then it's literally a curse that's saying you don't get items.
Yes.
Which is worse.
But I would debate, this is exactly what I mean. Like, yes, this is bad, that's why they're on the same tier, but, like, this is more relevant in the early game because you need items more in the early game. If you get this late game, it doesn't even matter. Just don't pick up the item. Like, seriously, just don't pick up the item. It's not worth it. And it does, like, yes, it sucks that you can't pick up the item.
I have never once, in 2,500 hours, had Curse the Unknown be even slightly inconvenient. Okay, maybe not slightly inconvenient.
You just said you lost a run!
That was a min-maxing mistake.
That's the point. No, that's
you
literally
didn't let
my
me finish.
point. You
didn't let me
cannot
finish what I was
min-max
saying.
as good.
Let me finish the sentence. Let me finish the sentence, okay? I've never had it be inconvenient against a final boss, which is a one points. I've never had it be inconvenient in battle.
Okay, well that's fine, but I have like many times. So mute point.
Well, that's because you're bad.
No, it's not about being bad. This can happen to anybody. All right, if you're bringing a sun card or a full health pill, and you don't know how much health you have, you might have to proc it early, and then you waste hits.
But you don't have to count it exactly. You can just like.
Yes, but it's still less hits that you could get. Like if you're like you are not getting the optimal amount of hits out of it. You just don't. At the end of the day, am I wrong in saying that this is the only curse that can actually hinder you in a boss?
I still think that's wrong. Because if Curse of Blind gives you a bad item, you're stuck with that the rest of the run.
But no, you don't pick up the bad item. Like, if we're talking about the specific...
You can't just always say, don't pick up the bad item. It's not always applicable.
Again, it's only... Yes, it can happen, but it's mostly only going to happen at the beginning of the run. Like, I mean, this is... I mean, hell, I could say the same thing to your argument. You know, I could say, oh, skill issue, don't pick up the bad item. Yes, because that's technically a skill issue. No, it is, because you don't need to pick up the item.
You have to pick up items at some point.
Yes, but it's just one floor. And like, if it's you could base it on what room you're taking. Obviously, take a angel deal or even take a 2-heart deal from the devil deal. Usually it'll still be good unless it's Maul the Void, in which case you cry. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not like you're losing an entire floor's worth of items. You might miss like the item room or something, which is not that big of a deal. In fact, which is fine, because then you get more planetarium chance. Like, if I get this on an early game floor, a lot of times I just won't even enter the item room. Because I'll be like, screw it. You know, I might not want to risk it. And I can get a better item from the planetarium anyway.
I don't know.
At that point, it's kind of a non-issue. It actually is kind of a non-issue. Because is there any hindering boss items?
I've had Curse of the Unknown kill one run in like my entire
Wait. Is there any hindering boss items?
No, not
Is there any hindering angel items?
Experimental treatment, I guess. Experimental treatment if you get a bad roll.
I guess, but that's whatever. I'd still pick up experimental treatment if I saw it, let's just be honest.
yeah, exactly.
I don't think there is. I think the only hindering items are in item rooms, and I think cursed rooms as well, but you could, you know,
Secret room, Curse of Blind is worse than the secret room because the secret room could have been a really good item, but you can't risk it because there's a bunch of really bad secret room items as well. So you could have had a game-winning item, and you just can't take it.
But honestly, I would bank on Secret Room even with TM Trainer in there.
Actually, Secret Room's the one that I consistently don't even risk slightly. I'll still risk Item Room. I never risk Secret Room with Curse of the Blind. It's not worth it.
I think it's kind of I mean, again, that's kind of a mute point because I think one way, and I think
if you have Chaos. I also think if you have Chaos, then Curse of the Blind is really hard to risk because now it's any item in the whole game could be the item, and you don't like. It basically takes out the.
I suppose, but if we're going that way, if we're going that route, you have a specific item. How about when you're playing a specific character? You have no health knowledge on Tainted Mag.
Yes.
That is so terrible. Like, actually so awful. Like, can you even argue that? Like, I mean, and there's a few characters, right? Like, hell.
However, this is literally a non-curse on any lost character.
Sure.
I think the keepers are fine with it as well.
Sure, you could argue Tainted Lost has no negative from this though. If you want to be that guy, because he only gets good items.
You still can get cursed items. Oh, actually, no, cursed items is fine on Tainted Lost.
True.
Can Isaac Heart spawn? I don't know. Oh no, you get exploding items on Tainted Lost. You get like Ipecac in a situation.
Either way, it's not. It's not like that's kind of like a. I would still pick up items as Tainted Lost even with this, no matter what. Like, it's more likely you're gonna get something good.
I actually think picking up like Ipecac or Dr. Fetus on a run that doesn't want it is a more common scenario.
Yeah, but I would pick those up even as Tainted Lost. Am I crazy? I think those are more useful to have than not.
Really don't want those items. Certain runs.
That's so specific. I think most of the time they're like 99.9.
No, I don't think it's that specific.
99.9% of the time you're gonna want those items. I think.
No, I think there's quite a few runs where I see them and I'm going, this is not good for this run.
It's like only specifically like soy milk or something. Which even
it's like any run that has split shots at all.
either way, we're getting a little bit too specific. I don't know. I think I've actually made some pretty good points about this. It's the only one that actually hinders you for a boss significantly.
I don't think it's significant at all.
It's very significant. It's extremely significant.
The only thing that matters to me is that you maybe can get a little bit less use out of min-maxing.
Have you lost a run to this?
Yes.
What?
Definitely.
I've never lost a run to that. Like, actually. Like, just never.
It's harder for me to pinpoint what, like, runs. I don't remember. But I know for sure there's runs that I've gotten Cursed Eye on that have been bad on. I mean, I've told you, I've mentioned one of the videos where, like, one of my first mother runs in Repentance, I picked up Cursed Eye.
Well, anyway,
where do you think that came from?
I think
the blind.
But again, I wanna make this point very clear that you're only considering this a non-curse because you're thinking of max skill level. Like, you have to consider that not everybody's perfect, and you're not gonna be able to count all your health. Like, against a long boss fight, you just will not remember how many times you've been hit, unless you're a robot.
You don't have to be exact.
No, you kind of do a lot of the times.
If you think, okay, I have like 7 hearts, and then you get hit like 4 or 5 times, you can probably go, okay, I'm like low on health now, and then you can use it. You don't have to be exact, and it's good enough. Like,
well, but no, it could be bad enough. Like, your run could be bad enough to where you need every single hit.
You're talking about situational. How few runs are struggling that much, and get the curse, and have a sun card or a full health pill?
Oh well, getting the curses is not in. I mean, we're assuming you have the curse no matter what. That's not a factor here.
I guess so.
But
still, you need to have a run that's struggling and a run that has a full health pill or a sun card.
Which happens a lot.
A very common scenario.
Are you kidding? Okay, well, full health, no. But sun card happens all the time. Are you kidding me? How many? I bring sun cards to like so many bosses. How could you not? It's the sun.
You need a sun card on the final.
Go check out our card tier list. It's an insane tier.
So you either have to have, like, not all.
The sun is common.
Not all runs are red health runs that want the sun card.
And that's true.
That's my point.
But even then, like, if you're running a soul heart run, then this curse is even worse because then you don't know. Well, I guess if you're only soul hearts, you're just not gonna want to get hit no matter what, which is a valid enough point. But if you have even some health, like, you want to know how much red health you have for min-maxing. Like, this does hurt min-maxing. You cannot always count. If there's no more hearts on the floor, you have no way of knowing how much health you have.
Actually, you just made a good point for my point. If there's enough health on the floor, you actually can find out how much health you have.
I mean, like I said, none of these are that impactful. Like, it's not like we're losing.
Curse, like, most of the time.
No, this is not a. How have you heard one of the things that you could work around this and disregard all of my points that this is like a terrible curse?
No. Thought it was like, I'm not saying it's whatever, I'm saying it's cringe, but like
it's not cringe. You're cringe for thinking it's cringe. I mean,
I think you're cringe for being bad at the game. Just count. I will help you. 1, 2.
You are so crazy. I mean,
it's not that.
Granted, I do like. I can actually see the world where this is above, but
no,
there's no way. No, you're crazy. You are crazy if you don't think it's in the same tier. Because I don't even think this is close.
What do you mean?
I really don't even think it's close. Because you can ignore the items for this. But this can hurt a boss and you're min-maxing.
You're looking at, like, so, like, specifically.
Not
like,
really! This happens a lot!
If you're ignoring the items to Curse the Blind, you were saying for a whole floor, you're gaining...
No, it's only one item! It's one item! Who cares? It's the item room item, that's it. And then you get Planetarium.
No, again, you can't really buy your shop item because that's not going to be, like, a smart decision, like, no matter what.
Well, a lot of times you do it anyway because you want to buy items anyway. Like, what shop items are bad?
Sometimes you don't have enough money to just
Sometimes
buy
you have
items.
I mean, yes, then fine, save your money. That doesn't really matter that much. Either if you have a lot of money, you'd still buy it anyway. Let's be real.
And this is terrible if you get it on an angel or a devil deal. The angel deal is fine if it's a one item.
No, the angel deal's fine. The angel deal's fine. All right.
No, it's fine. It's fine what item you get, but you're getting less of a choice, which is bad.
That only happens on the optional angel deals.
Yes, but if you get
that's so niche. It's way more options. It's way more likely that you're gonna ruin your min-maxing for a health thing.
Rerolls are one of the strongest mechanics in the game.
I agree.
Get it on this.
I agree.
On this floor.
I agree.
You can't use your rerolls to near the same effectiveness. Not even close.
Yes, but you could still save your reroll for the next floor. My point is that that's not really hurting the entire run. You could lose your entire run because of not having your health. Granted, yes, it could be on a it could be on it could be on a min-max, it could be on a min-max throw, or it could be on just fighting the boss incorrectly, not counting your health correctly. It can happen a lot of different ways, all right?
Min-max throw has also only happened to me once.
This
guess what? It will never happen to me again. It will never happen again. I've learned like from my one time, it will never happen again. Irrelevant.
From an Ultra Instinct standpoint, do you not play better when you know exactly how much health you have?
No, because I already know the health because I counted.
No, because there's always a little bit of doubt in the back of your head. All right?
There's a little bit of doubt. I give myself like maybe 2 hearts of leeway sometimes if I'm a bit unsure.
Like, you're basically saying that you lose like 1 or 2 extra hits, which 1 or 2 extra hits is a lot when you really think about it.
It's really not.
Yes, it is. Really hello? That can mean the difference between a lost run or not.
There's actually ways to identify this. Like, if you're ever on half a heart, then there's like a little like puddle of piss at the door entrance whenever you go through. So you know if you're on half a heart.
Is that true? Wait, is that why that happens?
Yes, it is. It is. You can test it in game. If you're on exactly half a heart and you go through a door, there's like a little bit of like piss on the ground.
I actually didn't know that. All right, fair
happens
enough.
Consistently, which I've used multiple times on runs where I'm unsure of my Curse the Unknown health. Because let's say I'm actually, no, that's a very good point. That makes the Devil Beggar thing kind of irrelevant. If you're trying to use a Devil Beggar and you're not sure exactly what health you're on, you hit him, you go out the room. And then if there's no piss puddle, you hit him again, you go out the room. Eventually, you'll see the piss puddle, you know exactly how much health you're on.
All right, you know what? You know what? That's a fair point. You've convinced me. It's right there.
So you can get rid of that. And then against the final boss, I still think you need to be on a red health run. You need to have like a middling amount of red hearts, because if you have a lot of red hearts, you're not losing. Like if you have like 7 or more red hearts and you have a sun card, you're not losing. It doesn't matter if you waste like 2 of the hearts from the sun card.
You still could lose. Like there's a lot of runs where you just don't have the damage.
You would need like 4 or 5 red hearts, which is like enough that the sun card is like worth having, but not enough that you're always going to get a lot of benefit out of it. And then you need to not know your health, so you need to like take the right, like use it slightly early. You're probably only going to get like 2 or 3 hearts worth of healing from it instead of 4 or 5. It's like it's so specific. It's so specific. How do you not see that? I've never. No,
it's way more. You're crazy.
I've never had this affect me on a final floor. It's never happened. I've never cared.
I guess I'm just a lot more unlucky than you are, because I get it on all the runs that hurt me. Really bad.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. If we're going to talk about combat application, I think Curse of Darkness, I'm not kidding, Curse of Darkness has screwed me over way more than Curse of...
Oh, well, that's just because you're throwing. You want to talk about skill issues. Fix your gamma.
Close.
That's a skill issue. Fix your gamma. BJ.
Curse of Darkness...
We're talking about a skill issue. Don't talk about a skill issue. Fix your gamma.
I did, and it's never been an issue again. However...
No, that's not even comparable, man.
I actually do think it is more likely that Curse of Darkness, even on like a fine gamma level, I still think it's more likely.
I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. Even with your point about the piss, which is a valid point. That's the first point where I could see this being more of a hindrance than this. But I would still prefer to get this over this. Like 99% of the time.
We're playing the same game. It's not close.
Well, maybe it depends on the floor, to be fair, and it depends on like what the run is. And you're right. You're right, actually. If you're a soul heart character, you're not going to want to get hit anyway. So maybe this is more
and, like,
detrimental to red health
with
characters.
Hybrid health, right? If you're a character with hybrid health, you probably have soul hearts. So your red hearts are usually filled anyway. And you can easily like know how much red hearts you're on. Like, so the min-maxing isn't really that big of a deal. Again, I have done it once with it, but I wasn't being very careful, and it's never going to happen again. And I think Curse of Blind has definitely killed me.
Just the fact that you have to be careful at all is, like, again, a lot of these you don't have to be careful at all. Like, again, this can be run ruining. That's my reason why it's in terrible no matter what. Because this is potentially run ruining.
I can kind of see it in terrible. It should be at the bottom of terrible. I don't...
Well, yeah, but I think these are going to be the only 2. Are you going to fight that XL is in terrible?
Yes, actually I am.
All right, well, I'll fight that it's not. All right, so what's your... let me tell you what Turt's main point is going to be. You lose out on 1 extra devil deal. Terrible. Am I wrong?
It is. It is.
No,
that is the problem. No, but you actually miss out on more. No, actually, this might surprise you. I was thinking about it. I think this is the worst curse in the game. I think it's a little bit worse than Curse of Blind. okay, so although there are some like, there's some things that make this a bit weird. So on most floors, I'll talk about first floor later, but on most floors, what will happen is for one, you're already losing you still get 2 item rooms, you still get 2 boss rooms, that's fine, but you're missing 1 floor worth of Devil or Angel Deal, which I think is actually incredibly relevant. I think you're joking if you say it's irrelevant.
No, it is relevant, but I'm about to bring up a point as to why this is a blessing.
You also lose a shop. You also lose a secret room and a super secret room. You lose any, like, if you have like any items that can get like red key, for example, you're losing your ultra secret room. If you have teleport 2.0, you're missing your error room, and you're missing an extra, like, you guaranteed extra Devil or Angel room. So there's quite a few items that can give you extra rooms that just you're losing a room if you get your Curse at XL. And yeah, you're always losing the shop. You're always losing your secret rooms. And then you also have less chances for sacrifice rooms and curse rooms, so you're losing some of those as well, really. Like, you lose a lot of special rooms by getting a XL floor. If you're going for planetarium, you have less chance to hit your planetarium, so you might miss your planetarium on your run because you got the XL floor. There's just, you miss quite a lot of special rooms, and I do think Devil Angel room is the biggest one, but on top of all the other special rooms you're losing.
No, I do honestly agree that that's the worst part about it. However, and those are all really good points. Like, I think if in a vacuum, if we're only thinking about its negatives, I think yes, I can agree, it's the worst in the game. However, we were talking about what are the blessings of the curse as well. This is the most blessing curse in the game, like by a lot.
If you get a first floor, it's actually
first floor XL floor it's actually cracked. Like, it's just really good. You can't usually get a Devil Deal on the first floor anyway, so you just instantly get your Devil Deal earlier in the run, debatably. This is the best thing. Now, I'm not a reset scummer, but like, let me tell you, if you're playing as Tainted Cain or Tainted Lazarus, and you can easily reset for this on first floor, and that could actually be a make or break by a lot for boss rush or even Hush for those characters, because they're very slow, right? Or any character. This on first floor is insanely beneficial. Not negative at all. It is only beneficial on first floor.
There is one negative to being on first floor. And
you get like one less curse room or something?
No, you have no chance to get soul hearts from the start of the run. So normally on a normal run, you're like, most characters will just have red health on the first floor, but that's fine because you can usually get a soul heart before you go to floor 2, and then with that one soul heart, you're probably fine. You're going to get your
I guess.
But
no,
on an XL floor, you have no buffer zone. So if you mess up in one of the first few rooms, that's it. No buffer.
Guess.
You can't get your soul heart in time.
I suppose, but most of the time, like, you're only going to need that stuff on a soul heart character anyway. Like, you're only going to need the XL start on a soul heart character anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Or even like a challenge character. I guess it matters for Tainted Cain, though. But even then, like, Tainted Cain doesn't really even need the Devil Deal, because Tainted Cain's broken. He's just slow. Like, getting through, like, 2 floors at once is the main benefit. So I think the benefit of XL, far, even if you do lose your Devil Deal, it far outweighs the con, just being able to get through 2 floors at once. 100%. That is a fair point, though, but I don't think that, I think the positive is way higher. So for any first, but I'm not done yet. Any first floor XL, no matter what, is more beneficial than not. And that's not even counting boss rush or Hush. Like, oh my god. And like, even if you're not going for a boss rush run, like, I mean, we talked about in the card video, like, there's so many teleport cards. With this on any floor, whether it's first, second, or even more so if it's for like depths. Like, yes, you are losing on an extra Devil Deal and extra special rooms, which is more negative than positive, but you could still almost always get your boss rush, because skipping an entire floor is a big deal. I mean, granted, it's not really skipping.
Quite good, yeah.
But like, it's still way quicker. So you're probably gonna get your boss rush. You could go in, teleport out, get a free item from the boss rush, and the boss rush item pool is pretty, like, what is that pool? Like, there's some pretty insane items in there.
It's just treasure room. It's just treasure room, but you're getting a choice of treasure room items.
I can't tell you how many times I got like Sci-Fly or something, like something crazy.
Treasure room has a wide range. It has some really bad items and some really good items. So
but having four options, like, yeah. So
that's why I usually get something.
While I will say, I think the negatives out of this, I agree, are probably the worst out of any of the curses. But I think just the fact that it is actually the most beneficial curse, like, full stop, it is the most beneficial curse, I would put it in probably top of cringe.
I don't know. I don't see it ever being underneath Curse of the Unknown.
Well, okay, let me put it this way. Like, I'm not a reset scummer, but one time I ever reset scum was freaking ultra hard. Bro, ultra hard is the worst challenge in the game, and this can save your ultra hard run a lot. XL floors. I would reset until I get an XL floor.
You already get XLs on ultra hard.
Wait, do you? I'm thinking of a different challenge. I'm sorry. Yeah. What actually benefits you in ultra hard then? Hold on.
Not really. So, I don't know. Just now, there is one benefit to this. So, so the reason it's good on a first floor, even more, is that actually it gets you earlier devil deals on a first floor, because what happens is, so obviously normally your floor 2 would be your 100%. Your XL floor makes your floor 1 100%. Which means your floor 3, your caves 1 on an XL start is a 66% base chance, when normally it has to be a 33% base chance.
Mm-hmm.
So you are literally like a whole floor ahead in terms of your devil deal base percentage. So that's the main good thing of getting it first floor. Again though, if you just mess up a little bit because you don't have time to get soul hearts, if you mess up a little bit, then it ends up becoming bad, because at that point, well, if you miss your devil deal, yeah, that's just not good.
I just like I don't want you to compare it too much to Unknown. I just want you to like think of the curse as a whole, and think about all the times where it has actually helped you. Like,
it does help.
It helps a lot. Like, it actually does help a lot.
I also think I have a lot more scenarios where it really hurts. I mean,
yes.
Is actually, I think, a good example where on ultra hard, last time I was doing it, I showed you that clip where I missed the 97.5% angel deal. But the reason that's so frustrating in ultra hard is not just because of the hard challenge and I really needed that angel deal and I had the chance for it, I missed it. But the extra reason it's annoying is because your first opportunity, in ultra hard, I wanted to go angel deals because of Curse of the Blind. I didn't want to take random devil deals. So I had to skip my floor 1. Why are you moving it down?
Oh, I'm just thinking...
It's not worse than Curse of Lost in any reality.
No, I really... Anyway, in my head, I think it actually is.
Let me finish. Your first floor on ultra hard, like, I don't want to take the devil deal because it's blind. So your first chance at any item is your caves floor. But then in ultra hard, you can't get soul hearts easily, so you're gonna take damage in caves easily. And then it's like, so then if you actually make it, you then have to hit your 66%. And if you miss it, you're not getting an angel room until depth 2. Like, it's so detrimental in that regard, like how late you're getting your first potential angel room in ultra hard. If you didn't have XL floor every floor, you could just get one in caves 1 and then like problem solved. Easier. Well, the run would be way easier, but instead you have to get it at the end of caves, and if you miss it, it's at the end of depths. Like, it pushes you back so far in terms of devil chance. And that like, I'm using that as an example because that's the run where you're getting XL floor on every floor.
That's true, but
it's easily a bad thing. I think the challenge would be way easier if you didn't have curse.
No, you're right, but that's the point of that challenge. I probably shouldn't have even brought up ultra hard in the first place, because like.
Well, no, the reason I'm mentioning it is that, like, that's kind of proof that if you get.
But that's a mechanic. That's like, a mechanical thing.
Enough.
Like what we were talking about with the holy card with Tainted Lust. Like, we can consider it very slightly, but it's one challenge out of a million challenges.
I'm not saying it's one challenge. I'm saying if you look at that challenge as like a good example of like how does a curse of
but you're not going to get multiple XL floors in a row. You know, like.
No,
that's not going to happen.
I'm just saying that like. It does show like how far behind it actually sets you on like special rooms and devil rooms and stuff. It sets you behind really like.
That's not the main. That's not what makes ultra hard though. It just isn't. It's a very small, very slightly. Like, I'm talking like I think less than 1% easier. I mean, less than 1%.
I actually think it would be significantly easier.
I don't think it would have at all. I really don't. Because like, what special rooms are you even trying to get?
It would be way easier to high roll on getting an early angel room on caves 1, but that's not an option when you have Curse of XL.
Okay. So talking about regular runs though, like, I mean, I don't know. I think I've made
the same thing still applies. You can never high roll to get a caves 1 angel room, because I mean you can if you get a first floor XL, but if you get a floor 2, like a caves XL, you're not getting that early angel room. Like, you're at the end of caves, and if you still miss it, you're like really far behind now. If you miss the angel or devil room on your XL floor, it sets you behind quite a lot. Like if you had a 33% chance base chance and you miss it, it sets you behind so much. I just think I've just noticed more recently because I used to think this curse was good as well, but I've just been like.
Oh, I still think it's
like,
more
some of my
negative.
streams.
Don't get me wrong. It's still more negative. That's why it's not an and whatever in my mind. It's still cringe, but like it's never like game changing. It just isn't. Like, and if it is, let me tell you, if it is game changing, it's actually more so that it's game changing in a positive way, is what I've noticed. Like most of the time, its negatives are not game ruining. It's more so that its positives are game changing, like in a good way. Like, I don't know, man. I actually...
I think it's one of those curses that when it does something good for you, it's obvious. But every time it does something bad for you is a little bit less obvious. But it's basically the same.
And maybe so, but those runs are never lost anyway, so who cares?
Are they never lost? I can say with a lot of confidence that the negative of XL is like way worse than Unknown Ever is, and the benefit is not enough to outweigh that.
Oh, no, it's still a negative curse. I'm not trying to say that it's a positive curse.
No, I'm saying the benefit is not enough to outweigh that.
Well, yeah, it is. No, well, I mean, the benefit is enough to... I mean, it still weighs it into cringe territory, definitely. Like, it's not terrible, is my point.
Well, it's definitely not lower than Curse of Loss, so I don't even know why...
Well, that's where I would put it. But, I mean, I can
Curse of
move
Loss,
it.
we established with Curse of Loss that it can give you extra rooms.
Well, XL gives you more rooms in a smaller amount of time, which is very relevant for certain runs.
No, like Lost can give you more special rooms, and you're not sacrificing.
Yes, but that's only relevant for runs where you're not trying to go fast. Hell, I mean, we haven't even considered it, but let's talk about like getting times for like daily runs, right? For speedrunners, this is insanely good. Hello? Like insanely busted. Like, you want this as much as you can.
I can maybe see it in cringe, but not below Curse of Lost in any reality. No.
That's fine.
Not in any reality.
That's fine. I guess.
I legitimately do think, like, I would swap here. I can kind of see behind Curse the Blind the more you talk about it. They were definitely my top two. I would swap Unknown and XL on this.
What? This is...
Oh,
this is
Unknown and XL. No, of the health one.
Yeah, that's wrong. Okay. I think that's good, though. I would personally swap these two. I think this looks fine enough. I'd actually... I know it seems wrong, because, like, the negatives of this are so true, and, like, I do know the negatives. The negatives are very, like, harmful. But, like, I really do feel like, man, I get so many benefits out of XL floors. Like, I actually feel like I even... Like, when I get an XL floor, most of the time it's an whatever. Yes, it can hurt you, but I feel like the times that it hurts me are way more rare than a time where it has positively affected my run or was an whatever. Like,
I think it hurts me more than helps me for sure.
I don't know. So I would I would feel more of a hindrance from this. But
nah.
It's fine. Obviously, you think it's a lot worse. I actually think they're kind of comparable, at least in my mind. So I'm not too hurt about this. But this is what I would do. Oh yeah. I mean, you made a good point about the P. The P is what brought me over.
The P.
The P actually is a good point. What can I say? That actually does. I've never knew about that.
No, I legitimately do use that multiple. Like,
I never knew about that. I'm gonna be honest, because that's one of the biggest negatives of this curse. Is that, granted, without that knowledge, my points still are very, valid, because a lot of my points...
I do think if you're on full heart floors, it doesn't trigger because you can't get to exactly half a heart. But on those floors, you're not really using devil Witches anyway, so...
That's true. No, you're probably not min-maxing on... That's a good point. You're not really min-maxing on Womb anyway. But, yeah, I think that's a fair enough point for me to bring this below. I still think it's the most hindering in boss. Like, even with that knowledge... There's no world where this goes anywhere below terrible, because...
You're wrong, but, I respect your wrong opinion. It's okay.
I respect your wrong opinion. All right, don't get it twisted.
Wow.
But yes, I think this is fine enough. I think we made some pretty good arguments for everything.
Yeah.
I kind of like... I can't... Please let us know in the comments. This is the one thing I'm most curious about. Has darkness ever, like... really affected anybody? Like, please let us know, because
I do think you'll get people saying yes, but like I also agree. Like, I'm not that fussed with it being at the bottom, because I do agree that if you have enough gamma and you can actually see, then it's nothing. It is actually.
It's just like,
but
I'm talking
I just have
about
had it at
base,
times.
because like I have to specify this. Like, I've played on Switch and PS Vita, and like I didn't change any of the settings or anything. It's just always been whatever. Like, and if we're talking about base repentance, like I guess like Turt said, it must have been a lot worse in early repentance. But I mean, now it's not like that, you know. Like, so who cares?
Yeah,
Like,
it's definitely better now. But I mean,
all right. We did actually have quite a few more arguments than I expected. So thank you for watching.
Video?
It's 55 minutes. You know, no big deal.
Damn, what?
Is there
I
is there anything you want to switch on here?
Uh, well, if we need to consider, like, all these curses hurt Isaac, but there's actually one curse on this list that hurts you IRL. And that's Curse the Maze. It wastes your time. That's all it does. It does nothing in the game. It just wastes your actual real time. And you're wasting your life with Curse the Maze.
Oh my
you
God.
lose years of your life. Think about it, okay? You could tell someone that you love them, like a family member, right? But instead, you're wasting time with Curse the Maze, trying to min-max swapping your floors.
Bro, this is an IRL curse. I lose so much time from literally my whole life passes as I'm teleporting between rooms. Literally, I see all of my friends growing and growing, whereas I'm still in the same run, just teleporting between rooms over and over and over again. They have kids. They're all married, grandkids. They're dead. They're in the grave. Meanwhile, I'm still playing Binding of Isaac in the same floor for ages. IRL curse.
I never got to tell them I loved them.
I never got to tell them. I never got to tell them, and I'm going to cry forever.